Hello everyone and welcome to the Atelier Nikazuki stream. I'm just getting a couple more things adjusted again so that you can actually see me a little bit better on the laptop. Maybe we'll just move, there we go, we'll move the laptop over here. So what we're doing today is we are going in and doing knot bag sewing. I worked on knot bags yesterday. And so that's what we'll be working on today as well. I'm just working on the light top stitching for the knot bags right now. And then I will be working on the dark stitching and dark knot bags as well. If you're just joining me from Instagram, sorry that I'm a little bit late. We had a situation with our toddlers we needed to deal with before I could comfortably come downstairs. Mostly my eldest bit my youngest, and yeah, that's not cool. So it's still like establishing the rules about don't retaliate. We know the youngest is being a pest, but you cannot retaliate against your sibling. Anyway, so we're gonna head into this here. I think that was just my like watch being like, you have gone live on YouTube. Oh, all right. I went to yoga this morning. That's part of why I'm on a little bit later. I'm trying to keep up my activity level because my husband and I are training for the Dopey Challenge at Disney World in January, and yoga is such a good like all over exercise. It's not even funny. But it is something that I do drop off of pretty much instantly as soon as I can't get to it regularly. So that's just something I gotta get back to a little bit better, especially when my husband's home. So today we are working on the knot bags, and then we got through, I think like well over a third of them last night. I didn't count them until I was a few in. So I'm pretty sure we're well over a third in, and I think there's only like 15 left. This is 15 of 15 left. So there's that. And yeah, there may not be much talking in this one. I know I'm supposed to talk consistently in these live streams, but I might just let you listen to the sounds of the sewing machine. But if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Although actually I do have stories, I guess. So when I was scrolling Instagram this morning, I stumbled across a like bag, and I'm like, I recognize that fabric. So I messaged the woman that had been reposted from, and we figured out, yep, that it was actually one of my bags, because I'm like, I recognize that fabric. And it was just funny because it's like she couldn't remember where she'd gotten from. Then she remembered that she'd been gifted it by someone. Very likely someone who had picked it up for me at like Knit City or something like that. But it was an older style like wedge bag and all that. It was just, it's so cool to see my bags out in the wild, as it were. That's my favorite way to see them, actually. So, random encounters of the Instagram kind. So we're gonna sew all this together. Basically, we're sewing the handles together, and we will trim down the seam allowances, and then we'll turn the bag right side out. That's the sequence of events for this one. And so my phone is showing the overview of the desk, and then obviously my MacBook is on me. I did make my actual MacBook little, I think I might have to redo the first part of that seam. Anyway, my MacBook camera a little bit larger because last night I was running into the fact that the phone camera was not as color accurate as the MacBook camera, which is wild to me because I'm pretty sure the phone camera is quite a bit better color. So I might have to mess around with the actual software and see if there's something that I can change up on it. But I'm at the point where it's like, okay, well, it's working well enough. I'm streaming with it, and I'm happy with that amount of reliability right now. That's really where I'm at. So, all right. So I missed a part of the, well, I was very close to the edge on some of that interior fabric, so I just wanted to make an extra seam so that there's a little bit extra seam allowance instead of wandering off into the abyss. If you hear my kiddos, I am sorry, they're upstairs watching TV while Dad tidies up because we've got family dinner tonight. So I got to get out of helping tidy up because I have work to do for Knit City. So, all right, so I make the seam allowances on this larger and then I trim them down. And then we'll turn them out and you'll get to see this adorable fabric. And then after this we have the black thread stitching for grime guards. Actually, we'll end up pinning a bunch of stuff again, clipping a bunch of stuff on camera again, which is kind of tedious, but you know, it's needs gotta, right? So, and like the hem on the grime guards and the cake cozies is one of the few things I don't actually want to just eyeball. That's not cool. Probably could, probably shouldn't. Alright, just trimming down the seam allowances around the exterior of the handle. And then we'll do the short handle and then we'll do the turn. Alright, those scraps are too small for anyone pretty much. Some of these bags definitely fight. I just realized I actually did have to do a full new seam on that side because I missed the little turn corner, and I realized it before I turned the bag out, thankfully, so I don't have to turn it back out, like back inside out again. Okay, I'm just gonna open up my hoodie here. It's like half and half. We've definitely cooled down here. It's nowhere near as hot as it was like 4 days ago, I guess. But it's like, keeps going in and out whether you need a hoodie or not. Nothing can agree. Okay, so we're gonna clip. I just kind of jumped the edge there to do the seaming. Oh yeah, and we'll do the actual finishing on the other bags that are out here as well. Although these all need a press. So the black, we may not finish the bags today because I don't really want to iron on camera. I guess I could do it with just the phone. But I tend to burn myself when I iron. I still have like a scar from last year. This one right here. It's actually from the iron, so that's always fun. Not as bad as the time that I burnt myself with bacon grease. I was putting bacon grease back, like I had poured it into a cup and was going to set it back in the fridge. I don't know why I went to set it back in the fridge when it was hot. But I did, and I ran into the door handle with the cup, of course, full and hot, and spilt it like down on my stomach down here. 2nd degree burns. Jumped in the shower as fast as I could. Basically like tore off the shirt that I was wearing, jumped in the shower, stayed in the shower for as long as I could without like giving myself hypothermia, because of course there's no way to really do that without getting a full body shower. And then had to go to urgent care and get wound care. So I did get praised for jumping in the shower right away though, so that was terrible and awesome. But yeah, the scar stuck with me until I had kids, and now it's like been obliterated by stretch marks. So that's fun. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure out if these actually need to be ironed or not. They may not need to be. I might just be able to go in and never mind. Yeah, so typically I do run an iron over this edge right here and like up the handles, although I've had problems in the past where that makes it just as hard or more difficult to actually get them lined up. So I think in most of these cases we'll just be able to do it right like this. And then I'll take them and I'll press them in the steam press before they go out because they are kind of crinkly bodied. And I'll just even everything out after I've finished them. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. I can make it work. So how many more do we have here? We got 13 more at this point. Sweet. So we're stuffing the exteriors into interiors, and I'll show you a quick example of what you do with these knot bags. So when you want to use them, you take the long handle that you have and you stick it through the short handle like this, and then that long handle is actually your carrying handle, so you can stick it through and use it as a handbag. Obviously that'll be better to demonstrate when I actually have it finished, but you know, may as well start with an explanation of how to use it, I guess. Alright, I know a few days ago I said that I was going to be doing like large box bag stuff because I need to restock on large box bags, but I actually need to restock on knot bags. I've been overstocked on them for so long that it was finally time to do some new ones, especially with the new fabrics in stock. And yeah, it was just like, I'm at the point where most of these are like this close to being done. And so it's just time to get something finished for Knit City to give me that, like, partly to give me the accomplishment points so that I'll just start rolling through on actually getting other stuff done, I think. My other thought process was, well, let's go through and we'll cut all the interiors and pockets for the Kato. But looking at the box that I have for Paula, I'm like, no, let's do the large box bags because then that'll clear out the Kato cuts and I can actually see them and decide what I need to do for linings and like pockets and all of that. Sorry, I do need stuff from back there. Okay. Hopefully you can't hear the kiddos very much upstairs. I still have like, I'm no longer sick, but I still have some fluids. That's the best way to describe it, sorry. But we're working on the knot bags here. Working on the Maiko in Kyoto on the blue right now. And I hope you can't hear the kids upstairs. They're making a ruckus. So yeah, so we're going to work through knot bags and grime guards in the next couple days. My friend, I did confirm with her, she's going to come out and help me put elastic into the cake cozies and grime guards that I finished up, well, or prepared for elastic yesterday. And then those will get finished next week. There's a couple grime guards that need to be resurged on the like white side, mostly because they're in timeout right now, and I was like, we're gonna put these into timeout and just for a few days, just so I can hype myself up to rethread my serger. Rethreading the serger isn't actually that bad. It's because I'm used to like the industrial setup for how to thread it. It's actually pretty straightforward, but it's just like every time I rethread it, the tension or something changes, and it's like learning experience every time. And I just do not feel like dealing with learning experiences right now. Isn't that terrible? I'm like, I am in the middle of Knit City prep. I just need everything to go smooth. And machines fighting back is not things going smooth. So we will wait. So I guess that's not actually the fault of the cake cozy and grime guards. They're just the casualty. They end up in timeout because it's like, I don't want to deal with the machine that I need to use for you. I was fighting it the other night on stream and I'm just like, nope, it's time to stop. And I'm not even going to touch my other sewing machine because I swear it's contagious. And if I don't stop, I'm just going to want to throw both of them out the window, and that doesn't get anyone anywhere. Alright, we're just easing those curves in because apparently this bag does want to fight back. Got quite a generous seam allowance to cut in the middle at least. The handles look like they're okay, except there. Okay, so we'll do another seam here just to make sure there's enough seam allowance and you're not getting stuff like popping out here. And then I just put it, basically combine it with the current seam allowance. The other side is good, except that I didn't get the actual little corner. So this is a lot of stuff that I double check usually once I've turned it, but honestly, if I can catch it before I turn it, it's obviously so much easier to just repair it now. And this corner does get missed a lot because there's little notches in the corner to tell you where to stop the stitching on the bag, and so I do know that that's like a fail point that needs to be checked consistently. But on this side, it's good. So I don't think, I just need to trim down the handle up here. That, and then it definitely needs a trim down around the middle, the swoop of the knot bag, but the handles are fine. So around we go. So a lot of the grime guards that I was working on are actually the scrap busters from the knot bags. I'm very proud of myself for getting them like processed this quickly. It's quite good. That's actually where the original, the triangle pouch and cake cozy idea came from. Sorry, the grime guards aren't from the offcuts from the knot bag. There's not enough fabric, but the cake cozies are, in general. Obviously, I do still also do custom cake cozies, but generally I prefer using the scraps from the offcuts because that was the whole point of them. All right, so up the other side of this handle. And we'll turn it. This one is going to be absolutely spectacular. I can already tell. Just like amazing. There's certain fabrics where you just make stuff out of, and every single one piece like just hits it out of the park without like much effort from the actual maker. But I guess, okay. Beyond like the original fabric selection, I guess. Let's put it that way. It's like you just turn something and it just looks amazing. And then you have that like euphoric sensation of like, I did it. I made that. It's so cool. And so good. All right. We're almost there. I did not eat a big enough lunch. My stomach's like, hey, you should eat. You should have eaten more. Probably had cereal for lunch. I probably should have had a little bit more protein than the cereal included. All right, so we pull all the handles out here. They always remind me of like legs before I stuff the lining back in the interior or the exterior. And could I use my little turning tool? 100%. Do I want to try and track them down? No. So, fingers it is. All right, there we go. Now I can stuff it in here. And there we are. That is one of the knot bags. So the actual video in the phone camera, so that little picture-in-picture is actually more color accurate than the actual MacBook. I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe because my water bottle is in the way. No, the phone is still more color accurate. But that's, you can also view it on the website, and that is the most color accurate photos you'll get of it. So I do have some pre-order / like it's pick your own fabrics basically. So you can decide if you want like a small, large Kato bag out of fabrics, and then I'll make them for you.